I forgot earrings again. Put on some earrings. I might ask you to feed him because, yeah, I know, right? And I'm sorry my kitchen's such a mess, but you need 130 grams of the white bag, the echinacea, and definitely water, right?
I don't know how you're going.
Okay. Oh, it's live already. Oh, hey. How do I know who's on? Come on, y'all. Help me out. Volume off. I know that much. Hi, Sheila. Thanks for joining. Hey, Marjorie. I'm still getting set up. I need 5 minutes before I can actually start talking about this because we start officially at 5 o'clock my time. So if you're on the West Coast, I think that's 8 o'clock in the morning for you. And if you're on the East Coast, then it's 8 plus 3 is 11. 11 o'clock in the morning for you. I'm going to be honest with you. I did not sleep last night. I was just awake. I woke up at 3. I might be kind of tired. I don't know. I feel good though, actually. I feel good. I'm just knackered. So Lamia and I are working on a really big project. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you about our project while I'm waiting for the time, while we're running down the time. But you know how I call myself a badass butterfly, and I call like all these women that are kind of really getting into this spiritual like healing and living their lives from the inside out. I call them badass butterflies. Well, I've decided to take that to a whole new level. And I've created an entire program designed to help a woman really embrace her badass butterfly nature. And it literally takes you from being a caterpillar where you think that you're a part of the earth and you're trying to make things happen, and maybe you're not having so much success, or maybe you are having some success, but you know what I'm talking about. There's still those issues where you're stuck and you feel maybe a little bit trapped by some things that are happening in the physical world. Well, we want to transform that into the freedom of the badass butterfly, the lightness, the confidence, the beauty, and really it's the freedom to create the life that you want to create, the freedom to manifest and to see this world bring you your desires. So that's my work. And actually, I should double check and see if anybody who's listening can actually hear me. I don't know. Hey, Solomia, can we check and see if, I haven't done that yet. Can you just check and see if you can hear me on Facebook? Actually, I can do that by, actually, yes, I just heard. Come on, cut it off. That's funny. That was wild. It sounded like really badass butterfly, you know, like big time echo. So badass butterfly training is what I've called the website. And it's really a website where you come and you get all the information you need. It's a straight up program that works with the moon, works with the sun. We work with meditation. We do shadow work. We do healing. Take you through a full program of transformation and self-healing, working with your negative beliefs, working with your inner child, all these things, and really helping you open your heart, working with your chakras to unblock them, to unstick them. Again, creating a really strong daily practice of meditation, shadow work, and whatever it is you need in particular to get your to get you in that mode of thriving. Yeah. So that's the program that we are working on. And my alarm just went off and said, hey, it's 5 o'clock and it's time to get started. Yes. So that is Badass Butterfly Training. That is the program that Solomia and I are building on the website. And we are enrolling, if you are a member of my moon group, meaning you are getting my moon reports delivered to your inbox, then you are going to be automatically enrolled in the membership program. So you'll get like access to all the perks and the benefits at the basic level of membership. And then if you want to upgrade, you can do that, or you can just hang out with us at the basic level. The whole point, though, is that it's set up for you to be able to get a lot of really powerful tools that you need right now to help you start transforming your life so that you can create the life of your dreams and manifest your heart's desires. So I'm going to go ahead, it's 5 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and start talking about and exploring, should you be a healer or life coach? So my name is Crystalline Bell, just in case you didn't know that. And I am a healer and life coach. And I've been a healer for, I started my healing journey officially back in 2002. And I became a spiritual life coach. Oh my goodness, I have the sweetest little dog right here, my sweet dog. I became a spiritual life coach about 8 years ago. And I started off practicing spiritual life coaching in my wellness center. I had a wellness center in Long Beach, California. Whoop, whoop, go Long Beach. And when my mom died, right, all in the same year, my mom died and I sold that business. And so I had to build an online business. And running an online business is way different than running a brick and mortar business. And I'm very blessed to have had experience with both and to be in proud possession of both, of two successful businesses. It's really great to be able to sell your business, and to know that you turned over a great business, that it was a great business, while you had it. And it's even better to be in a business that you love, that you're passionate about, and that you are creating with your own energy. Your business is your baby. It comes right from the sacral chakra and goes right into the three-dimensional world. It is so much fun. So I want to encourage people to pursue their own business, to pursue their dream of being a healer or life coach, or to pursue the art of healing and life coaching. In my opinion, it's an art. It always has been an art. I used to, I'm artistic by nature. I'm a lot of things by nature. I'm a businesswoman by nature. Apollo wants my attention so badly. He wants his food. Solomia is giving Apollo hand gestures, and he's totally following her. He is like, Solomia. It's cute. It's really good. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I haven't checked in with my participants, and I want to do that real quick. Sorry, before I go on. Excuse me, everyone. I'm so sorry. I'm just rattling away. I didn't sleep last night, and I think I'm a little bit dopey. So I'm on my Zoom meeting. If you're on Facebook, then you want to come and join us in Zoom so that you can participate. There's a link in the there's a link in the post. Thank you so much. No, bud. No. And actually, you know what? Maybe it's not a bad idea to go ahead and feed him right now, right? Just because he sees his food, he's acting a little crazy. So Solomia is my assistant, and I'm going to check in with the folks that we have online. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you all permission to talk. That's what it says here, allowed to talk. And we'll just check in with you and say hello. I have Mosin and Shannon online. So Mosin, you're first here. So let me go ahead and unmute you. Am I saying your name right? I'm probably not saying your name right. Is it Mosin? Mosin? I can't hear you if you're talking. Oh, hello. There's a chat. Hello. Hi. I'm trying to talk and it's not like, maybe your microphone is muted. I'm assuming this is my first time on Zoom. Yeah, it's a little confusing. I'm so sorry about that. So Mosin, and I'm sorry if I'm getting your name wrong. I do apologize. I'm going to start off with Shannon and let you work on the technology parts. Better for you to, too loud in here with the kid. Okay, so Shannon's going to type and I'm going to read out loud. And Mohsin's going to get the technology stuff together. I think that with Zoom, it kind of asks you to like choose your audio. Like, don't you have to make a decision about your audio? So maybe you have to like tell it, I want to use my computer audio or my phone audio, something like that. I'm sorry. So Shannon, if you're going to talk, I'm just going to ask both of you all to say hello, or to just to tell us why you are here. What's bringing you to this call today? I know that on Facebook, I wrote that we're going to talk about how to make money as a healer and a spiritual coach. But I know we all come here for different reasons. So let's see if Mohsin, I can hear you.
Oh, you can? That's awesome.
Yes. Hi.
Hi, how are you, man?
Great. How are you?
Okay. I seem to be hearing my own sounds back again and again. Okay. My apologies, by the way.
No problem. I'm sorry about that. I'm not really sure of what to do about feedback.
Yeah, it's okay. And I keep seeing my name coming back again and again for some reason.
Well, I think your video is turned off. Is that the way you want it? Yes?
Yeah, I think my connection is not the best in the world.
Yes, I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that. Well, either way, though, I can hear you perfectly. So,
That's
yeah. So if you'd like to, if you're okay listening to yourself with a little feedback, why don't you tell us what brings you to the call today?
Actually, if it's okay, it might take maybe a couple of minutes, if that's okay.
Yeah, please go ahead.
What's been happening with me is that I've been on my own kind of spiritual path, and I've been dealing with my own crises. And say a month or so ago, I discovered some of Teal's work.
Yes.
And I did a few completion processes with a wonderful practitioner.
Mm-hmm.
And through that and some exploring astrology, I have a fairly good idea of what I want to do in terms of career, because I want to be honest, I've had a pretty bad run of it, and going through this stuff has really made me realize a lot of what I want to do. And just a couple of days ago, I joined the Facebook group known as the Completion Process. I forget the correct name for the group. It's focused on the completion process.
Yes.
And I saw your ad on there.
Okay.
And it was like exactly what I wanted, traveling the world, doing a bit of astrology and healing people. I was like, oh, this lady's already been there. Yes. So I thought, why not try it out? Other than that, I don't know much about you at all, ma'am. So I apologize.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm so happy that you have shared your story and your journey. So for me, what I'm doing is like, it makes me want to cry. My heart is so tender around it because there's so much joy in every day for me. And part of the reason why there's so much real joy, and one of the reasons why I'm so connected to my work, is because I had a very difficult time in the beginning, and now I'm not. So the thing that I want to start off by telling you, well, actually, I'd like for you to tell me how to pronounce your name, please.
It's just Mohsin.
Mohsin, I had it right. Snap.
You had it right.
Thank you.
You had it right.
So Mohsin, the thing is, it's really every moment and everything that you do is geared to empower you in the moment, but sometimes you don't appreciate it until you're in the future. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's really hard to believe that at times, but yes, it can be really painful at times, and it's really hard to keep faith in life. But yeah.
Yes. I remember being so sick, like physically sick, unable to move and alone, and thinking that I'm going to die like a dog. I'm going to be discovered and days later, and I'm going to be a fucking mess, dead, but a fucking mess. And how humiliating that was, the thought, and how scary that was, and how debilitating that was, and needing to still survive, needing to, at that point, it was just about survival, Mohsen. It wasn't about thriving. It was literally about surviving. And how devastating that is to experience, and how real it seems. And in no way do I want to invalidate anyone's experience by saying that what you're going through is an essential part of your human experience, and it's an essential part of sharing healing with other people. So I feel like those of us who are healers and spiritual coaches, we are called to this work. We all kind of say the same thing. We all say, I need to share this story. I need to share my story with people. I have something that I need to give to people. And it's something that's almost intangible. It's the heart, it's the story, it's the soul, it's the journey, right?
Yeah.
And the universe believes you, and the universe wants you to contribute your story. The only thing we have to do, I mean this sincerely, is release the negative beliefs and thoughts and the doubts and the feelings that are stored inside of us. Release them. Now, I'm not saying that we need to be perfectly happy and perfectly in positive emotions. I'm not saying anything like that. That would be a lie for me, and it doesn't even sound fun to me to be happy all the time. I like challenges. I like struggling a little bit. I like running uphill, and when it's hard and it's hot, and I'm like, this is all like tight and my muscles are burning. I like that shit. Because for me, right? Life. It's another aspect of life, but it is good. So for me, it's not about being all positive. However, this is the thing, Mohsen. It is not okay, is not helpful to you to store your emotions and to be attached to them. I was working with one of my lovely clients today.
Yeah, yes.
Right?
Sure.
And this is a really wonderful man. He's warm-hearted, sensitive, beautiful, just a wonderful man. And he did something wrong that he considers wrong years ago, and it haunts him to this day. And I like to say,
Oh Lord, he sounds like me.
hey, bud, he sounds like you?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's that's a good starting point, okay? That's a good starting point. Recognizing triggering events, yeah? The thing is, this man has he's already in so much thrive. He's already thriving, but he cannot even recognize and enjoy his own thriving because he's so afraid of what he did wrong,
Right.
And from my perspective, I'm outside, obviously, and I can look objectively. He is a wonderful being, but from his perspective, he's an asshole. He's stupid, did something stupid, made a big mistake a decade ago, okay? And the thing that we're working on is not denying. It doesn't do him any good. It doesn't do me any good to say to him, hey, you're a nice guy. You're in Thrive. You're wonderful. That doesn't help him.
Yeah, I've tried that too. Yeah.
Right? It
doesn't work.
doesn't help.
Yeah.
What helps him is sitting. In my work, my approach to spirituality and to healing is to sit with that shame. And instead of trying to just peel you away from it, instead what we do is we sit with that shame and we own it. And we're like, okay, look, I'm not going to suppress the shame. I'm not going to deny the shame. I'm not going to run from the shame. I'm not going to compartmentalize the shame. We're going to do the hard work and we're going to sit with that shame and we're going to feel it. So we feel it, feel it, feel it. And what happens when you stop resisting? Well, I'm going to just ask you logically, like you got two forces. One's going this way, one's going that way. Boom. They're coming up against one another, right? And this is a tense space right here. Yeah?
Yeah.
And what happens when I stop resisting this is that now I'm going with the flow of this thing, right? This thing is pushing me along, and here I am going with the flow.
Yeah.
So no more resistance, eh? What happens is, as this thing is pushing me along and I'm not resisting, I'm starting to enter into a state of high vibrational peace. So it takes a little while. In the beginning, you don't know how to stop resisting, you know? So you have to kind of dance with it a little bit. You resist a little bit, it pushes back, and you're going back and forth.
Yeah, I'm kind of there at the moment. Yeah.
Right? But ultimately, what you got to do is let go of the resistance altogether and let this thing just push you. So you just have to embody the shame, and you just have to wear it and feel it and be with it. It's going to drag you down. You're going to feel all the weight of all the shame that was ever carried in the world. You'll feel it. But what happens is you stop resisting the discomfort and you start embracing the peace that comes along with it. Apollo, please. My dog is literally gnawing on my feet like it's a rawhide chew. Will you give him one, please? Rawhide chew from the box. Like he's really nuts right now. I don't know what's going on with him. He's amorous. Oh my God. All right, go on, boy. All right, so the point is, in order for you to move into enjoying the next level after the shame, Mohsin, you've got to stop resisting the shame. That means you have to let the shame take over. Yesterday on Facebook, I made a post and I said, I'm going to feel worthless. So I felt the worthlessness and I really broke down and I had a really big cry. You know, I felt worthlessness and it really hurt. It was so hard. But then after the good cry was over, I started feeling really peaceful. And I was able to become objective with worthlessness. And what happened was I spent the whole day, I said, worthlessness, I'm going to invite you in and you and I are going to just dialogue and we're going to dance together and see, you know, I'm going to see what comes up. So I walked around and felt worthless, and I noticed that worthlessness was being injected into my life practically every minute of the day. For example, I went to go put on my running shoes. I looked at my running shoes and I'm like, oh, they're dirty. There was a feeling of they have no worth. You know, it's like I'm wearing these dirty shoes. I have no worth. Then I go out on the run. I'm tired. My legs hurt. Worthless legs. This kind of weird thought pattern of just making a judgment about everything as not being good enough and as having no worth, you know, no value. And, you know, for the most part, I'm a pretty affirmative person. I'm like really into life. I'm joyful. I'm high energy. But there's a nagging inner tyrant that's like, that's no good and that's no good and you're no good and this is no good. So in sitting with worthlessness, I was able to recognize this dialogue. And when it came up, you know, when it said this thing about the shoes and your legs are not strong enough and you don't run enough, what I was able to say was, yeah, you're right. Yeah, the shoes are dirty. Yeah, my legs aren't strong. Yeah, I'm not running like I should. If I want to run a marathon, I'm not getting there. You're absolutely right. And what my inner tyrant did, because I validated myself, my inner tyrant said, okay. And then all of a sudden, I found myself running faster and running further than I had planned, you know?
That's very interesting. That's very interesting.
Yes. Please.
I have similar, I have similar issues sometimes with my body shape.
Yes.
And it's like a really bizarre thing that where, you know, when you're a little bit fat and you're like trying really hard to like maybe suck in your stomach or pretend it's the little fat is not there, as if that's going to actually change anything. And
Yeah.
it's such a bizarre and really uh, uh, clammy sort of feeling. Like, and yeah, I think what you say may
Mhm.
have a. It's so counterintuitive to just say, yeah, you're right. You're right to someone who's you know
Yeah.
tyrannizing you.
Yes.
Uh,
This is one of the things that I learned in becoming a completion process practitioner, working with Teal Swan. For those of you who don't know Teal Swan, Mosin knows Teal Swan. Um, she's all about like your pain body. Like she's not afraid of experiencing pain. She's not afraid of the raw, dirty, dark truth, right? In this moment, this pain feels real. Therefore, it is my truth. And one of the things that she does with the completion process, and the completion process is Teal's product, where she put together this beautiful healing practice for the inner child. One of like the first 4 steps of this process is validation, and you validate, and the first level of validation is about is when you feel what you feel inside. Like you're just going on your day. Oh, I'm driving down the street. And then all of a sudden you have a headache. And there's a sharp pain, like somebody just came and hammered you in the head. Oh, you feel it. That feeling and actually feeling it is the first level of validation. Now, what happens when you actually allow yourself to feel it, but without judgment, okay? Validating someone means you acknowledge it and you don't try to change it. You don't try to make it something else. You don't try to suppress it or deny it, and you don't even try to figure it out. Validation is being unconditionally present with a thing. So, boom, you have a headache. I said you were driving and you had this big headache and you're going to validate it. So you better pull the car over so that you can truly validate it. Okay, so you pull the car over and you feel the headache and you're like, oh, this headache, it hurts. I feel like somebody is putting a hammer and a chisel on my head. That's the first level of validation. The next level of validation is and this is in the completion process, you sit with that feeling and you allow it to tell its story. And part of its story is where it originated. So you allow a vision to come to you. This is how I run my completion processes, by the way. People do them differently, but this is mine.
okay.
And what happens is you sit with the pain, or you sit with, it can be emotional pain, it can be sadness, but it can be a headache, but you allow an emotion to arise and you just see what's there. And you say, oh, my stomach hurts. I feel nauseous, like I'm going to throw up. And then you say, okay, that feels like anger. There's so much anger there. So that's the next level of validation. You're not trying to judge it. You're not saying, oh, I shouldn't feel nauseated. It's a headache. That's invalidation. What you do is you say, oh, okay, I'm with this feeling unconditionally, and it's arising into nausea, and now I'm feeling like I want to throw up, but I'm also feeling anger. So you hold space for the anger and the nausea, and you do your best to not try to force them to change. And then the next level is, okay, I'm seeing myself as a little girl waiting for my mom, and I'm the only one sitting there. I'm the last one in childcare at daycare. And the teacher or the daycare provider has made it very clear that my mom is late again and that she's inconvenienced, and somehow this is my fault. Sorry, I'm emotional. I'm in it. I feel it. Sorry, opening my eyes and coming out, because this is not my completion process time, although it is my completion process time.
Well, I understand it's the
Oh,
I
yes.
personally I love getting all that attention, so I don't mind at all. It's like
Thank you so much.
yeah.
So This is the work you have to do, Mohsin. You have to allow the validation. You have to allow for the blossoming of the flower. We're not forcing anything to happen. We're not forcing the headache to tell us. We're not forcing the nausea to tell us. We're not forcing the child to tell us. We're instead allowing it to blossom, and we're pausing and we're waiting. And all of this waiting and pausing is validation. When you validate something, you're healing it, because things kind of just want to be made valid. What does it even mean to be made valid? It means that you are worthy, that you belong, that you're part of the structure, and that you're of service. That's valid, means that you belong in this space. A brick that is in a wall is valid because if you pull that brick out, there's an empty space. There's weakness, there's fracture, there's opportunity to break down, right? So by validating something, there's no more resistance. It doesn't have to scream, I need validation over again, because it's been validated. It now can rest. You see where I'm going with that?
Yeah, it's this. Well, I can say that this is something that obviously I deal with it as well. It's just that for me, it's obviously it's much harder because I'm new to it, and
Yeah.
for me, there's a huge issue of safety in the sense that I don't know if you've experienced it or any of your clients, but there's this really weird notion that if I just let it come, or I will do something that is so horrible, or I will completely lose control of my emotions, and I will end up killing someone or hurting someone.
Yes.
And it's
yes.
and it really stops me from really actually letting go. It's like
Yeah.
I'll get killed, or I'll end up killing someone, or one way or another, I'll get rejected or ostracized or condemned,
Yeah.
and no one will love me again. That sort of thing.
Yeah, look, I totally want to validate that for you, because this is a very real thing, like a very real feeling inside of us. And I remember I actually had that exact same mentality. It's like, if I am going to kill him. I'm going to kill her. I will. And so I therefore must shut it down. And I remember
Yeah.
taking it all and bringing it inside. This is me as a child, having so much rage and being told that you cannot express your rage. Yeah. So I understand that you would have, this is what I do as a coach. This is the story of many, 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 many people, maybe most people, that you're not allowed to express your rage, that you get judged. And it's my job to help you bring that rage out and to express it, because there are ways to express the depth of your rage without harming anybody. And a lot of that is done, I do it in session with the completion process. I build it into my curriculum for my coaching practice. But this is an essential way of getting your energy moving. Rage is one of the biggest blockers around the heart, and causing physical blockages in the body. Tumors, cysts, all are rage caused. So this is a very big deal, Mohsin. So I totally hear you on that. Sorry, just a little distraction. So for you as a healer, your job is to make sure that you practice what you preach. And for me, I have to get my own healing. I have to get my own coaching. I have to see my therapist every single week, And in building your business, Mohsin, what I did was I wrote my poverty into my business. I mean, it was there anyway. I was an impoverished spirit. And so what I did was I talked about it. I talked about it in my blogs. I talked about it in my videos. I talked about my struggles. I was never the perfectly healed woman. I was the woman who was letting you witness getting her shit together. And so I do big, stupid things, and I'd take big risks, and I'd tell people, hey, I'm selling everything and I'm moving to Europe and I don't have any money. I have literally $2.14 to my name, but my spirit said, write this, book this plane ticket. And I did, go get a credit card and book a plane ticket. It doesn't make any sense that you don't have any clients and you are booking a plane ticket to Europe and you don't have a place to stay. All this stuff is dumb stuff in the three-dimensional world. But my heart, and this is the thing, your heart, when it says go, you go. When you feel the affirmation, you just do it, and the universe shapes itself to support you. That's what you have to do for your business right now. If you're trying to build a healing business and you are meeting with resistance of your own healing, you can't get beyond your own issues, then work with your issues. Stop resisting them. Say, hey, you're here for a reason. Let's put you to work. Gosh darn it. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to. It's may I say I'm actually nowhere near to establishing my own business. This is something I hope to do in the future. I'm just I'm really at a low point in a lot of ways, and it's only recently that I've even begun to be open to the possibility that that something like this might be possible.
Okay.
So it's like I'm really far behind in that sense.
Then very good. Then Mohsen, I would, I'm going to, this is about people who want to be healers, right? But at the same time, every day, every healer must do healing for themselves. We're always doing it. So I would encourage you, if you know that you want to share the gift of healing with people, embrace it. And you can take on beautiful Chiron. I don't know if you know the mythology around Chiron. He's the Greek centaur god, and he's known as the wounded healer. And the story is that Chiron was stepped in to rescue a woman who was being harmed, and he took an arrow, a poison arrow for her. And being immortal, he couldn't die, but he had to live with this debilitating injury, and he suffered great pain from it. And Chiron was the great healer of the gods. So with his story, he had to live with the wounding every day and bear it, and still he was able to give healing to those in need. He was able to be of service, you see. So you can take Chiron on as your kind of hero, and I would suggest you learn about him. Go just search him online and learn about him and see what the mythology is and how beautiful it is to kind of embrace your healing as something more than just your pain. Embrace your pain as something more than just an inconvenience, which I think you're doing, but to see it in terms of the beauty around the mythology. For me, La Boheme, this story of this poor girl who was suffering love. She was poor and she suffered love. She had unrequited love. And she was my favorite martyr in the world, and I loved her story, and I was living her story every day. And I'd wake up and La Boheme would be playing, and I'd be in the pain, and it was so beautiful, and it was so fucked up all at the same time, like that I'm actually suffering this thing, but it was beautiful suffering, you see. So I just feel like where you are, Apollo, please, Apollo. Like this dog biting on my feet is so cute, and it's so bad at the same time. I'm saying no, and he's like,
perhaps he would like some screen time.
He probably would. Apollo, would you like some screen time? Would you like some screen time, buddy? Would you like some screen time? He says, yes, I'd like some screen time. There he goes. He got it. Now he's back on my feet. Yeah, let's give him a toy. Yes. Squeak it. Squeak it, please squeak it. Please make it squeak. Oh, here, I'll take it. I know where it is. Okay, there you go, bud. All right. Thank you for that, Mohsen.
That's fine. I'm sorry I keep putting myself in, but you just mentioned Chiron as a centaur, and I immediately thought that I don't know if it makes any sense or not, but my sun sign Sagittarius, and I was like, oh, wow, that makes sense.
I love it. Come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
love
Tell
it.
me that this is not Kismet. Come on.
It is.
It
I've long since
absolutely is.
stopped thinking that synchronicities don't happen. Like, I used to be like one of those people, no, it's just random stuff. And it's happened too many times now for me to deny it. So yeah, this
Yes.
is awesome.
Come on, it's wonderful. I love it. That is exactly what I'm
Yeah.
talking about, that though. And interestingly, Kyron, I was on a strong healing journey, and Kyron um, literally called me to Greece. Kyron called me to Greece. He's like, hey, come to Greece. Oh, that's why he's biting my feet. He said, come to Greece. I got something for you. Took a tarot card. I'm like, why are you bringing me to Greece, Kyron? Kyron gives me the Two of Cups. Ouch! Okay, I'm telling the story. I'm telling the story. Apollo, stop it, please. And no, I kid you not. I go to Mount Pelion, Greece. Mount Pelion is where the centaurs live. I found a little cottage. I stayed there for I booked myself in to be there for 3 weeks. The owner of the place says, hey, this is where Kyron lives. This is where the centaurs roam. His cave is about 100 yards away. Go to this cave. I'm out walking, just exploring the area. And a dog comes up, taps me on my heels, and it turns out to be Apollo. I go there, fall in love with him, and I get this dog, and I bring him back to Croatia. And Apollo is a Sagittarius. We think he's a Sagittarius. We're estimating his birthday at around November 25th, November 26th, just saying.
Yeah. Right.
And
Mine's 26th as well. Yeah.
November 26th?
Yes.
Oh, I love this. Look, synchronicities abound. This is awesome.
Oh man, this is too much, man. Oh.
Yes, I'm telling you, I'm all hot because of it. It's like, oh, it's totally aligned. I love it. So, Mohsen, and I'm sorry we're just going on and on. I'm just enjoying this.
That's fine.
So
yeah, same here.
Thank you. So look, here's what I'm going to recommend for you. First thing is to get into coaching, and I'm going to be straight up blatant. If you're interested in working with me, then please book yourself in for a discovery session. Actually, book yourself in for an emotional wellness strategizing session. And during that time, it's a complimentary session where you and I sit down and we talk about what you need. So there's a little form you'll fill out where you talk about you write down your struggles, your challenges, things that are bugging you. And then we sit down, we talk about that. And then I put together a healing strategy. And, I've been studying Teal for years. And I do a lot of her processes in my work. I just can't help it. She's an amazing teacher.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Yeah, she's wonderful. She's very, 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 very special to me. So I do a lot of her processes, and I will take you through. I'll put you together a healing strategy, and I'm going to encourage you to do some work with me so that we can get very specific, and nip things in the bud. And that would be the thing that I recommend for you to do. If you're interested in, sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut you off. Please go ahead.
I just meant to say, yeah, I mean, if the synchronicities mean anything, then yeah, I probably should go for it.
Yeah, right. At least we'll have a conversation. That's going to be a long conversation. Exactly. Hey, Solomia, will you please put a link for an emotional wellness strategizing session in the chat? Yeah. So Solomia will put a link in there for us, and then we can talk some more and get off the line and free it up so we can talk to Shannon. All right, Mohsen, thanks so much for that. Just hold on the line, right? And we'll check in again a little bit later, okay?
No problem.
All right, awesome. Hey, Shannon, I know that you were, okay, wait, I'm reading because you're in a loud place, but look, if you are not still in a loud place and want to talk, you can, but otherwise I'm going to read out what you wrote. And Shannon says, I'm a mother of 4 daughters. 2 are mine, aged 2 and 5. 2 are my stepdaughters, 9 and 13. I work full-time in the healthcare field. But I also teach yoga. Oh, and she's going to be leading her first wellness retreat in a month. She says she feels like she's on the verge of a spiritual awakening and want to be able to offer more to more to her clients. And she wants to help women heal and reignite their inner fire and find their calm. Awesome. I am so excited to talk to you, Shannon. Really lovely. It feels good. Okay, so look, you guys, I'm really intuitive, so I'm just feeling into Shannon right now because I don't get to hear her voice. So I'm just feeling, and it feels really nice. And Shannon says also at some point she interjected and said she feels like she's in survival mode right now. Okay, so look, for both of you, for everyone who's listening here, I've got someone who's hidden there on the line. But your healing practice can start right now. And Shannon already has her yoga certification and is leading a retreat already. Very good. But I like to start people off really simple. Number one, start writing about your own journey. Now, you're thinking, well, what am I writing about my own journey? What is that going to do? Well, it's the first page of your book. It's the first page on your blog. It's people read blog posts and they receive healing. When you tell your story, people are being validated. You know how important that word is to me, validation. Well, when a person, like when you say, I was really angry when they took away my doll, and another person says, hey, yeah, I was angry too. That's validating. That's a healing process. So you can start your healing practice right now by writing. And I'm sorry, Apollo is really crazy right now. Maybe we can put him on the deck, on the balcony. Would you mind? Just put him outside, and then we can bring the fan in so we can have some. Oh, actually, I can turn on the air conditioner. Sorry, y'all. So start your healing practice right now by using the tools that you have already. You start writing. You don't actually even have to have a physical blog. Just using a journal or a computer, typing up your writing and collecting them means that when you are ready to start your blog, you've got 10, 12, 20, 100 blog posts already prepared, and then you can just share them in time with, your big business plan scheme, you see. So to me, that's one way of just getting started with something is telling the universe, I want this, and the universe will help support whatever it is you're doing. Another thing that you can do to start your business right now would be to start making some videos, start doing some Facebook Lives, start doing some YouTube Lives. And you don't have to be an expert right now. You can just open up the Facebook and say, hey guys, I'm exploring healing. I was reading this book and I just want to share, I want to have a discussion about this particular thing that I read in this book that really inspired me. That is a wonderful way to learn how to talk, to learn how to do Facebook Live, to learn how to engage with people, to start building up your following, to start building up your audience. I hope that makes sense. Let me check in and see if you all want to share anything. Shannon says, I've been told I'm highly intuitive as well by healers and psychics, which, you can always start doing readings using your intuition. Call it what it is. Say, hey, I'm doing intuitive readings for $10 right here on Facebook Live, for anybody who wants to do it. Or maybe if you're new to it and you're not sure about, you want to charge, you just want to practice, then start practicing. Do, intuitive readings for people in a group. Build your own group. Hey, this is my free intuitive reading group. Come and join. That way you're getting yourself practicing, working with people. You're learning how to talk to people, all this kind of thing. Now, for me, I have a business background. I just do. I was raised in business. I'm a number 8. I came into this world as a number 8. It's strong in me, business. I had a lemonade stand at the age of 8, and I probably made $8 on that day, but I was very excited about that $8. That was a lot of money when you're selling lemonade for a quarter. Come on, that's a lot of money. And you're 8 years old, of course. So for me, business is really, really, really important. And the thing that I notice about people mostly is that they don't understand how to run a business and make it combine the healing or the coaching with the proper business management. So for myself, I also had to figure that out because it was different being a coach in being online than it was in a brick and mortar business. With the brick and mortar business, when I was first doing it, I was also doing massage. I was doing Reiki. We had an esthetician working, or a couple of estheticians working. I had other massage therapists working for me. I had teachers that were in my wellness center. So there was all sorts of things that were going on. So when I decided that I wanted to travel, I'm going to move to Europe. I'm going to travel. I'm going to be in Bali. I'm going to be in India. I'm going to be in Cambodia, and I'm going to be doing coaching. Whoa, how do you make that work, right? Like, how do you do that? How do you reach people? What? All your people were in Long Beach. You're now in a different time zone. When they want their coaching, it's, 3:00 in the morning for you. How do you coordinate all that stuff? Sorry, my thing unplugged. Give me 1 second. My naughty boy unplugged my computer. So the key for me, the key was to figure out how to run an online business. And what I'm doing now, more than even coaching just everyday people, I'm actually helping healers and coaches establish their business so that they can actually have a great business that is also like, it's about having the joy of healing and a business structure that supports the healer. So this is the thing that's important to understand. And you guys, I've muted everybody. If you want to ask a question, feel free to raise your hand. There's literally a raise your hand mode in Zoom. So just raise your hand and then I'll see it and I'll take your question, okay? But the key is a healer cannot work like a dentist. And I'm using dentist as the analogy or as a comparison, because I grew up in dentistry. My dad's a dentist, my aunt's a dentist, blah, blah, blah. So what has to happen with a healer, you have to give a healer more space. A healer cannot do 8 hours of healing like a dentist might do 8 hours of dentistry. A healer might be able to only do 2 hours of business. So how does a healer offer a service that they're valuing at $60 an hour, or maybe even $60 for 2 hours? How are they going to create a lifestyle where they can actually take care of themselves and feed themselves? And how can they afford to show up to work, right? So what I've done is taken all my experience and put it into a program where I give the healer the business structure that is catered to their unique healing style and their needs. So for example, with Shannon, she has 2 children, and she probably wants some time to spend with her children. So she probably doesn't want to spend 16 hours a day as a healer and an administrator building her business. So she needs a business structure that will actually give her the flexibility that she needs. Of course, in the beginning of setting up any business, you do have to make some sacrifices. But when you're doing your business, they aren't really called sacrifices. They're called shifting your perspective. They're called shifting your perspective and understanding the big picture. So sometimes you need other people around you to help you. And you got to learn how to ask for help, and you have to learn how to delegate, and you have to learn how to also say no to your business sometimes, so that you can go and make sure that you're nurturing your family and your loved ones. So my work is about helping people like you all create a business that feels amazing to you and that supports you, not just financially, but emotionally, but yes, financially. And that's why I wanted to get into talking about money today. So before I get into that, let me just check in and see if there are any questions, either from our participants in the group or on Facebook. Is anybody on Facebook that wants to ask any questions?
No.
All right, very good. So we are good. I'm going to go ahead and just start talking about money. So when I was, I don't know where this came from. Actually, I have a big, broad idea of where this came from. As a healer, this was back in the early 2000s, healers were kind of seen as these all-sacrificing people who lived off the earth and were very content to tie leaves around their feet and walk the earth, and that was supposed to be their thing. And I kind of really bought into that because I thought it was romantic. You know me, I had La Boheme mentality, where where poverty is beautiful. And I lived that, and I went into my healing practice with that mentality. And I was charging very little for my services. I would go to people's homes and offer my therapies, and I'd charge them like $60 for an hour, and they would give me a $5 tip, and I'd be like, yeah, thanks. I was so appreciative. And it was really great. It felt good to be offering people services, but it was also really hard to be working really hard and not able to pay my bills, not able to pay for my education, not able to pay my rent, not able to take care of myself, finding myself in debt, really struggling. And, I'd love leaving a person really happy on the table. They'd be like uplifted. And then I'd be going home struggling to figure out, like, I couldn't even afford my own service, to get my own service. And that didn't make sense intellectually. And as I'm older now and more matured, as I've evolved, I realized, like, damn, that was really just a small portion of what life is. It was a perspective that was that narrow. It was that narrow, that perspective. And the idea was that, if you're going to be of service, you have to suffer. And that's just not true. And I feel that right now. I'm just so aware of it. I have figured out a way, because I love giving things away for free. I love giving things away for free. So what I do for myself is I satisfy that. I validate that part of me that feels like giving away things for free is really good. So what I do is I write 2 moon reports every month, and they're really good moon reports. I put a lot of heart and energy into them. I put exercises with them, and they're really great. And I put them on my blog for people, and they're there totally free of charge. It feels so good because I get a lot of affirmative feedback from it, like a lot of feedback from people that are like, damn, I just did that exercise and it felt so good. I read your report and I feel so much better. Oh my God, I've just been validated. I get that all the time. So I'm actually feeling very good about nurturing that part of myself that really wants to give away her services, So at the same time, there's another part of me that is like, look, I'm a magnificent divine being, and I really give excellent quality service, and I feel value around what I offer. My services are thought through to the highest degree. I've got forms, I got a website that rocks. That's all my time and energy. And then on top of that, when you sit down with me, I am right here. I am an excellent channel. I give 100% of what is there. I'm listening to you. I'm feeling you. I'm giving you feedback. I'm communicating with our higher selves. I'm communicating with our spirit guides. I'm fucking doing my job at the level of excellence. I'm going to get paid. And I'm not going to get paid a paltry amount. I'm going to put a dollar amount to my service that is a match to my service. Now, how do you put a dollar amount to that kind of stuff? Like, where's the market value? There are people who charge, and I've gone, and by the way, I told you, I do coaching. I get coaching. I've had coaches that have literally charged me $6,000 for about 5 hours worth of work. Literally, I've paid that, and I've been disappointed. And I was like, wait, hold on. I just paid you $6,000 and I don't feel transformed. And look, y'all, that motherfucker attached $1,000 to that shit hour, and I don't get even a follow-up call or an email. You cannot even give me a follow-up email. You can't even return my calls in a very prompt manner. Dang. And so I went through a period where I was like, should I be doing that? I mean, I'm actually giving something. Should I charge $1,000 for an hour of my time? I tried that on. That did not work for me. I am not a vibrational match to $1,000 an hour for the thing that I'm doing. I'm just not. I had a lot of judgment about myself around that because I'm like, if she could do it and give shit service, why can't I do it? What I've learned in the years since then is that it doesn't really matter what you charge. What matters is how you feel when you charge it. So my service, I found a very good dollar amount for my service. It's going to change, but for right now, the perfect dollar amount to spend 1 hour with me doing spiritual life coaching is $126. Now, I know there are a lot of people who charge even, $350, $500, and they do a really good quality service, right? It doesn't all have to be $1,000 an hour. But the thing that feels right for me, and the thing that's wonderful, is that when I say to a person $126, it feels right. When I put together my packages and my packages come up to be whatever $1,600 or $3,000, whatever the package is that the person's buying into, when I say it, it feels right. The result is that the feeling is attracting more affirmation of itself. So I'm feeling awesome. I feel good. I feel in integrity. I feel like I'm able to give excellence, and it just feels right. And so when I'm working with people, because I feel right, people buy my packages. They buy into my programs. So I have a really high, call to purchase ratio. My call to purchase ratio is I'm at 100%. Everybody who talks to me buys the program because number one, I have a great program. That's it. That's number one. Number two, I'm real. People can see my authenticity. They can trust me. They know, I tell them what they get because I'm really organized. They know what they're getting. So it's easy for me to tell people about my packages because it's really clear. I've done the work, right? I'm into excellence. So I've done the work. But also I'm in integrity. So people can come to me and feel the integrity, and it's easy for them to pay in integrity if they're in integrity. If they're not in integrity, they are not a vibrational match to working with me. If there's a correction to their integrity and I can help them, then they will be a vibrational match to me. And guess what? They're going to love paying me that $126. They're going to just pay it out. So for me, that's kind of the message I want to give on this call today. I just want to encourage you all to do this work and to understand that even your money can be based on your feeling nature. And it's okay to mess it up. It's okay to overcharge and say, okay, nobody's buying this from me at $1,000 a service. And it's also okay to undercharge. Yeah, I gave away my whole first year. I gave away everything for too much money. I gave 2 hours of service. By the time you drive to your client and take out your massage table and set up the sheets and start doing the Reiki and start doing the massage on them, yeah, sure, it's a 3-hour service and you got paid $60 for that hour, $5 tip. That's all right. That's cool. That's part of your generosity. It's your giving nature, having a good time, learning your lessons, and it's also a stepping stone. So the point is, it's okay to be wherever you are. Just understand that there are some ways to help you actually find something that feels great for you and that thrives you. So I'm moving to Italy next month, and I'm moving into a farmhouse. If you've been following me, you know that I've been wanting to move to Italy into a farmhouse. That I'm like awesomely manifested that just is kind of like affirmation that this shit works, because I'm not doing anything except holding our beloved God, Goddess, source of all. I'm holding God, Goddess, source of all to their word. They say, hey, you're divine. We love you unconditionally. Go out and create the life you want. I'm saying, I believe you. I'm going to practice that. And that's what this work to me is all about. So I'm going to stop talking right here, and I'm going to check in with whoever's going to listen or wants to chat with me. And I want to try to unmute everybody. And if you have any questions for me, now's a great time to talk. And if not, then we can go ahead and start wrapping things up. Are there any questions or anything from anyone? I have.
I can't think of any right now.
Yeah, I have you, Mosin, and that's it. Although it does say 2 people, I'm not sure. Oh, they could be listening, like hidden, I guess. So, all right. So if that's it, then we can go ahead and start signing off.
That's fine.
Yeah, and were you able to put the link? Did you put the link in?
Yes.
Yeah. So Mosin, did you get the link to book in for?
Yes. I'm on the link. That's right. I've opened it.
Okay. Awesome. Very good. So whenever you're ready, you book that in. It'll be great to talk to you.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. So I look forward to whenever we can, and for everyone else, thanks so much for joining. Signing off for now. Okay. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.